Yo, what's up, residents of Mysta? It's your boy Zoku here back with another video, and I'm bringing you what if Deku had hyper regeneration. Without any further ado, let's get into it.
Yeah, some days I feel unfazed, like when I'm with my friends with a cup raised. Come Monday, I got a gun raised. Suicidal, do or die until hump day. Then I go right back at it like an automatic. More drinks, more songs, more beats to rap. I need a shrink, I'm gone. More time keeps passing. No watch, no thoughts at all. Just a hat, new era. Rep my P's and those O's. These Phillies with the orange and black to feel home. From Citizens Bank back to Camden Yards. It's a tale of two cities, and trust we go hard. Trust we go hard. Yes, we go hard. You said we go hard. I said we go hard. Rocking my Bob Cousy, stocking up on the loose. If the lyrics come easy, but the life is a doozy. And yes, I'm choosy, and no, I won't settle, but I still take pop off over that kettle, cause I'm talking bigger picture. And yes, I'm gonna hit you with the.
At this point in time, Midoriya had an acceptance to UA, walking into the school, as he's looking for his class. With the interest letter, when his new uniform came in, it says he would be attending class 1A, as he looked forward to actually going there. With the drawback of one for all essentially non-existent here, if you need to, you can use full force one for all with absolutely no problem. And it won't be any necessary for him, but he does have a limit of how far his court could go. But seeing the biggest door in the room, why the door is so big, Midoriya thinks out loud as he opened it, and suddenly everybody looks forward to him, and he begins to get a little nervous as everybody just start going back to what they was doing before. And he sees Ida yelling at Bakugo because he had to speed up on the desk. And a bunch of people already forming these friend groups, but as he's about to go up to Bakugo, since he's the only person he really knows, and they're pretty good friends here, somebody taps him in the back of the shoulder. Oh, I remember that green fluffy hair anywhere. Hey. As he looks back, oh, Uraraka? So, we're in the same class, huh? Nice seeing you again. As she goes, I take her seat, with them begin talking and them becoming friends, until eventually Aizawa gets up from behind his desk and says, it took all of you 60 seconds to shut up. You're all a disappointment. As he finally steps out of his sleeping bag, and he starts putting out a bunch of uniforms. He says, hey, put these on and meet me outside. As he boys goes to the locker room, and everybody noticed a bunch of scars on Midoriya's body. And they ask what that is. Oh, it's from my court. Whenever I get injured, I have a hyper regeneration court, so while I was training, a bunch of these appear, but it's slowly healing over time. I had a bunch more, but they heal already. Whenever I get scars, they take my quirk a little bit longer to heal scars that after damage, but it's fine. They normally go away within a few weeks. Oh, and so everybody's shocked because Midoriya, he's ripped. He is retardedly strong right now. As they finally end up outside, as he hands Midoriya a ball. But Ida asks, what are we doing? Are we supposed to be headed to assembly? No, I'm not going to waste my time or your time with useless crap like that. Use hers to learn how to become heroes. If Villain's not going to wait for you to get over these useless things, I'm not either. As long as you're in my class, you do what I say. I have full say in this school. As he says, Midoriya, use your full strength. Throw that ball as hard as you can. As Deku's about to, as Aizawa backs him up and says, hey, I don't care how good your regeneration quirk is. If you break your arm, you're expelled. I know what you're about to do, Midoriya. All Might told me all about you. As he's like, sure. As he goes up to 20%, and he throws the ball, and it's going just as far as it did in canon. As Aizawa says, impressive. Now, you're going to go through a series of tests. By the way, whoever comes in last place, you're expelled. As the whole class is kind of frozen in fear right now. But they are going to do this doing the long jump. With obviously Midoriya getting in first place there too. side-to-side lunges. And even when other people started throwing the ball low, Uraraka gained infinity because she just made her bowl float and never touch the ground. Bakugo threw like 800 meters. And Momo, she made a bloody cannon to throw the ball. So they're all pretty confused. As eventually your scholarship test came in and the person who got in last place. It's Mineta. Now, you come with me. Now, as Momo says, oh, I thought he was kidding. I guess not. As they show up to class the next day and they see Mineta there, as Aizawa reveals that he was never going to expel anyone. That was just a test. And he gets you all to try your best. And Mineta says, thank you. As the fact that he wasn't expelled pretty much right away, because that would have ruined his life. Essentially, All Might says, as Aizawa says, that was some necessary break you needed. I needed to show you that fear to get you to try your hardest. For that, I don't apologize. This is the real world. No one's going to wait for you. There is no second chance, second opportunities on the battlefield in this life. As All Might comes in, he says, have no fear, for I am here. I am your teacher. As everybody starts going crazy. It says, well, as he clicks the button on the desk, and all of their hero uniforms shows up. In this thumbnail, I like the way it looks. So this is Midoriya hero uniform, since I like it. So that's his hero uniform, because it looks a lot cooler than one in canon. But they're all beginning to do a test, heroes versus villains. You're going to be split up into two teams of 2 people each. Now, there's going to be 2 heroes and 2 villains. And if villains drop, it's don't let the heroes catch the bomb and set it off and blow up the city. While the heroes are made to stop the villains. The villains get about 15 minutes of prep time in order to hide the bomb. And then the heroes are allowed to come in. As he has them pull straws, and the team just split up with Uraraka and Deku being on the team, and Bakugo and Ida being on the team. It's just like, whoa, impressive. Now, they set off, and Ida and Bakugo rushing the building, with Bakugo being a lot more tame here. And they actually make up with a foolproof plan, but as a distraction in order to separate Midoriya and Uraraka. Bakugo honestly, he wants to fight Midoriya since it's been a while since they sparred. And it shows him a reason to show off some of his new abilities that he had. So he's pretty sad right now as he begins to trash. Now, Ida, do you think you can Uraraka Cork? 0 gravity. Just don't let her touch you and you should be fine. Right. As they split off, as Midoriya says pretty much the same plan. Knowing Bakugo, he's probably going to come after me first, as a plan is to get us separated. Now, with Ida, his speed is going to be a problem. But if you're just able to touch him once, you should be able to win. Right. As Bakugo isn't yelling and running around yelling at the time, he's actually a bit selfie, trying to catch Midoriya by surprise. Knowing that it's 10 of his quirk, he's going to try to use as much force as possible just to knock him out, to get him out the way. As they reach the 5th floor of the building, Uraraka is counting outside the building. Bakugo sneaks up behind Midoriya. As Midoriya had this weird urge, as he just jumps up, landing behind Bakugo. How'd you know I was here? I don't know. I just knew. As he punches Bakugo in the face. As Bakugo puts his hands on Midoriya's stomach, not this again. As he lets off a massive explosion, and Bakugo, as Midoriya gets sent flying back into a wall, going through a few walls. As he already, with his suit being custom made for him, is able to return the damage. But Midoriya was still bleeding. And it seems when his blood touched his suit, it actually healed the suit as well. Oh, the UA support course just really is amazing. It really is amazing when they design these suits. And they're really cool. And he gets back up, being fully healed. But Bakugo, you know that weak blast wasn't going to do anything against me, right? I don't want to kill you, nerd. Please, we both know you can't. I'm essentially immortal. Essentially immortal. As Bakugo's like, fine. As he lets off one of the pins of his gauntlets, as a massive explosion charge going past Midoriya, as Midoriya powers up 20% of one for all. Uraraka, I hope you're there. As she punches up in the air and sending the explosion upwards, as a ton of debris charge is in the room with Ida and Uraraka as Uraraka touches giant chunks, massive chunks of the building to sending massive rubble pieces towards Rita as soon as she manages to touch the bomb and successfully capturing it. And Midoriya, just to show off a little bit, he captures Bakugo in the tape as Bakugo's like, wait, I can't believe I just fell for that. Hero Team wins. As Bakugo's like, really? That was really dumb reaction. I should have been better than that. I should not have fell for that. As Bakugo just the slightest bit annoyed, but he moves on from it, not really caring about the outcome. As the other teams, they all go essentially about the same as in canon. With Midoriya being fully healed up, and they have to pick a class president. Class president is at this point, as they eventually decide on Ida and Momo, since Ida helped with a bunch of people trying to break in the building. But when Midoriya goes home for the sake, he begins to train with Run for All in order to have his body get more useful and his quirk more amalgamated to it. Ever since he got the power boost, his quirk has become like a lot stronger. So he activates One for All 25%, his body not being able to handle it. And he stays in it as long as possible. He could feel his muscles ripping apart or regenerating pretty much instantly, making his body stronger due to weight. So all night he's been training with One for All to match his 25%. As in order to not do this to his house, he goes at the beach and he just sort of sits there and he tries to throw punches in the waves, creating a little bit of air pressure. As he tries to cultivate and learn how to do that, as All Might shows up, he asks Midoriya, what he's doing. I'm trying to train. It's you, Midoriya, you look like you're in pain. Oh no, I'm trying to use 25% of One for All at this point, and I'm training my body to get a better accustomed to it. So I figured, if I have my quirk activated for long periods of times, eventually my body will adapt to it. That's a smart move, young Midoriya. As All Might supervises to make sure Midoriya doesn't overdo it. Midoriya eventually stops feeling less and less drawback from One for All until he eventually manages to use 25% with minimal to no effort whatsoever. But Midoriya, I think that's all you have for today. You don't want to overdo it. As he finally activates One for All, as he falls to the ground, as it uses a lot of stamina for him to keep that up. Oh man, I'm gonna feel this in the morning. Relax, you'll be fine. Oh, by the way, Isaiah asked me to handle this if I run into you. And some a permission slip to go to the USJ. What is this? It's nothing much. Just a field trip forms, but you could have that turn to and sign by tomorrow. As I can't get up. Could you give me a hand home real quick? Sure, young Midoriya. As he picks up Midoriya, as he drops him off at home, as Inko kind of freaks out a little bit, saying, All Might there. But that's how I'm going to end this part off today. Hope all of you enjoyed this part. Well, enjoyed this part, but peace out, fam.